Hi everyone, welcome back to Swiss Home Garden. Chitra here. In this video, I will be cooking one of our favorite lunch menus. Let's begin. This is a North Indian menu. We will be making an Indian flat bread called chapati. Then I will be serving this with a little bit of basmati rice, palak paneer and mung bean sauce. First I will be making chapati dough. For this I will be using 3 cups of spelt flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, and then mixing it with a little bit of ghee and water and bringing the dough together till it stops sticking to the side of the bowl. The best chapatis come out when the dough is soft and well rested. Usually, if you're using wheat flour, you can rest the dough up to 2 hours. But since spelt is very low in gluten, I let it rest between half an hour to 45 minutes, otherwise it doesn't really work out. You should be able to put your finger into the dough and then it is making an indent in the dough, and that is the right consistency. Next, I will be making homemade paneer. For this, I've used about 1.5 liters of raw milk, and once the milk is cooked, I will be adding the juice of 1 lemon and the milk will start curdling. I have shared a video earlier in this channel and also in my blog on how to make paneer from raw milk. I will leave the link below in the description box. Once the milk solids separate from the whey, filter it using a cheesecloth and keep the weight on the paneer for about 15 minutes depending on how soft or how hard you want it. For making palak paneer, you can let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. That is sufficient. Next, we will cook the spinach. I am using the same pot as the milk pot to cook the spinach, and I will be cooking it with a little bit of water. And once the spinach is cooked, I will be mashing it completely using a rod mixer. Next, warm a pan and add in about a teaspoon or so of homemade ghee. I will leave the link below also for the homemade ghee recipe. And then add in some seasoning like mustard seeds, a teaspoon, and 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. And then after that, a pinch of asafoetida. For the flavor and the spices, add 1 chili cut into half and add in chopped onions. 1 onion should be more than sufficient. Cook it shortly, and once the onion starts sweating, add in chopped tomatoes. Mix it and then add in the powdered spices. Add about 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder. If you have garam masala, you could also add half a teaspoon of garam masala. Mix it well and cook it until this becomes a soft and mushy paste. Next, you add in the mashed spinach. Whenever I'm making palak paneer, I'm reminded of a good friend of mine named Sarah. She used to live close to her older apartment, and her kid and my kid were in the same play group. While she was visiting India, she fell in love with Indian food, and this happened to be her favorite prep. Somehow we never got together to make it, and she was always behind me to teach her this recipe. I guess I will forward this recipe to her finally after so many years. Next, chop the paneer into cubes and mix it into this cooked spinach mixture. Add few chopped cilantro. I usually add salt towards the end of the cooking so it won't be too salty. You can add about a tablespoon or so of fresh cream. The next recipe is the mung bean sauce. I think some people call this also as dal maharani. I'm not very sure. I just make this because I had some cooked mung beans. Add 1 teaspoon of ghee, then add 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds and 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds and a pinch of asafoetida as usual, and then chopped onions. About a small onion should be enough. Let the onions sweat. Since I didn't have enough tomatoes, I'm going to be adding about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and this is also easier for me to handle. I don't need to be mashing the tomatoes. My daughter really doesn't like tomato pieces, but if it is disguised like this, it works out. And then add in the powdered spices like 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of chili powder and 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, and mix it all together. Then you can add in the cooked mung beans. I'm going to be adding just half of it because the other one I can use for a different prep. After adding the cooked mung beans, add a little water to get the desired soup-like consistency. Add freshly chopped cilantro leaves and a teaspoon or so of Himalaya salt. Mix everything thoroughly and cook it for about 10 minutes till it thickens, and then set it aside. Next, we will be making chapatis. For making the chapati, heat a cast iron pan and start rolling the chapatis. Take a small portion of it, roll it into rounds, and then add in 1 teaspoon of ghee and fold it into 4 folds like the form of a triangle and roll it into a round shape. You just see how I'm doing it. I usually do it on the edges and then it turns round. And this way, it doesn't get too thin in the middle and too thick at the edges. Roll it evenly and cook it on the hot cast iron pan. You can add some ghee while cooking or add the ghee at the end of the cooking. Either way, this is not really 100% a chapati because a chapati means you do not add the ghee while cooking. You do it at the end of it. So this is like a paratha kind, but I'm not adding so much of oil or ghee to it. Since we started to use only spelt for chapatis, I do not make chapatis so often nowadays because spelt is pretty difficult to handle. Let the chapati puff up a little bit and turn it on the other side, and then once it starts browning, add a little bit of ghee and then serve it with your delicious palak paneer and mung sauce. With this, I end my video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and thank you for watching. I'm planning to share a few recipes since we are not doing many gardening stuff and we have had a very cold spell of April. We haven't been out in the garden for quite some time now, but we will soon start planting. We are working on that too. See you in my next video. Bye bye.